Get in there. It's mid-October and I found a gap in a few high winds, and there's no place I'd rather go than Clacton Pier. It's really picked up in cod fishing in recent years, so I definitely thought I'd come down here and give it a try for a early codling or two. Armed with some typical perfect cod baits, I'm really looking forward to see what tonight brings. It's probably the best chance I've had on the codling so far this season, so let's not waste time and let's get on with it. So just loading up another full squid. When I say full squid, I normally cut off the heads when I'm baiting up with this kind of method anyway. Just keeps it a bit more, I would say, aerodynamic, and just because I'm not using absolutely huge baits, these aren't huge squids to be fair, so it's only like a medium-sized bait. Just give it a nice lash of elastic. I like to do the top bit first, then that keeps the juices in here. Well, I think it does. It just keeps the bait a bit more scent, with a bit more scent coming out the bait. I'm sure everyone knows how to bait up a squid, but when you're pier fishing, I think simplicity is key. You don't really want to be clipping up your rigs all the time. Sometimes it pays off, but this is when I'll use a 2-hook flapping rather than a 2-hook loop, just because I simply don't find the need to have it really. I don't really like casting really far away from the pier because I kind of think you're fishing on the feature. So all the rocks, all the groins underneath the sea, underneath the pier, and the pylons and that's in my eyes, that's a great place for food and the bass and the rays to hide. So I mean, even just chucking one down the side of a pier, you're in with a great shout of bass, especially this time of year. So very simple, can't go wrong with that. Nice squid bait. Let's get this back out of there. First fish on. See what we got. Oh, there's a bit of weight there. I reckon that's a good old classic clacton full-knee. Yeah. Straight in there. Apologies if you can't quite hear me, and if I go off camera. It almost took the tripod. Lively one. Come on. down the net and try and land it. See what we've got. Get in there. Absolutely beautiful fish. I never tire of catching these. Absolutely beautiful fish. Lovely markings. So we'll get this one back, and hopefully there's more to come. So come on. First fish. Let's go. When I change over to lugworm as bait, that really signifies cod fishing for me. There's no place I would ever go in the country without it if I'm to target cod. I think it's the absolute perfect bait, whether that's fresh blow lug, black lug, or fresh blacks or frozen blacks. Either or, they're all killer cod baits, all down in the UK. For me, cod fishing is all about keeping it as simple as it needs to be. I don't think you need to overcomplicate it with these fancy rigs. A simple worm bait on a one hook pattern start or a pulley rig or up and over rig, it all works. So just keeping it simple and minimising the tackle is definitely key for me. Any hooks from 10 to 30 all work perfect. So keep it simple. Why you pack a few spare reels. That is absolutely amazing. I had a few casts of it and then cracked off. It does happen. So even the best like me, it happens. I'm not joking. Yeah, but always pack a few spare reels because you don't want to spend half your session picking that out. So I'm going to change the fixed bowl because I've actually got quite a bit of a crosswind. So I'm just going to use this, keep it simple, and just knock it out like that. So when codling fishing in late October to well, all throughout the winter months really, it's these little buggers, whiting. It's being so close to the cod family, obviously they feed the same way, they like the same baits, and there's a absolute abundance of them this time of year on the evening tides, especially. So just kind of have to take it as it comes. It don't faze me really. End of the day, I'm catching fish still. So yeah, on the evening tides, October time, this is what you expect to find. Let's get his fins up. No, come on, mate. That's it. Get your fins up. That's it. There you go. If I just hold it there, look, it's £3 at least. £3 at least. Yeah, I'm joking. But anyway, let's get it back, and hopefully codling comes along. Tide's turned, and they're in again. Quite a doggies every cast. Absolutely tired. Tide's on the turn out, so we're in the flood, so fingers crossed that brings a few fish in. Hopefully some, for about 10 times as big as that. So I just want to run through you the kind of gear that I like to use on well, any pier really. Isn't just as a pier, but any pier in general, the setup I like to use. So if anyone's thinking of coming down here or just want to look for pier fishing in general, I'll give you a rundown of the tackle I use and the rig setup and the tactics, etc. And yeah, so rods I'm using are a pair of Ziplex 2500s. By all means, you don't need rods this expensive. These are not quite top end as they're quite old, but they are definitely for an angler who's serious about their fishing. Going to reels, I probably made a mistake bringing these reels out today. These are the Achios Shuttles sport casts. They are kind of my big casting reels. They're clean ground reels, but they are set to run quite fast. So it's probably a bit of a mistake bringing them on the pier because we've got a little crosswind as well, so it just makes it a bit awkward to cast. That's why I cracked off on my first one. Going to my next rod. So this is the same line on the reel. I believe it's 14-pound ASSO fluorocarbon coated ultra cast. Absolutely fantastic. 0.30 diameter with a 14-pound breaking strain, so it's a really good ratio. But yeah, that is on a fixed ball, same rod, but just makes it a bit easier to cast. If you're not casting too far, it just massively reduces hassle with crack-offs and just general problems you get with multiplier reels. So yeah, so any fixed ball setup will be fine. These are only 12-foot rods. Obviously, you don't want to be lugging about 15-foot rods on a pier because when it gets busy, you're definitely limited for space. So yeah, so some nice light 12-foot rods, 12 or 13 foot, some kind of any kind of fixed ball will do a trick. Like I said earlier, you're not casting to the end of the earth, and a lot of the fishing will be around the pier, so you definitely don't want to be casting really far because you're kind of fishing away from the mark. So yeah, any kind of 12-foot beach casters or even pier rods. There's brands that actually do pier rods. Weight wise, anything from 4 to 6 ounce. 6 when the tide's really running. You do get on the big tides here, a big left to right on the flood, and then a right to left on the way out, and that can really push. So you kind of have to up-tide your leads, but we're just on low water now, so these little pyramid leads are fine. That's what I'm using on my worm baits. Then I'm just using 5 ounce grips on my full squid, just to keep it in place as that bait will be moving in the tide. So yeah, 4 ounce to 6 ounce grip weights when the tide's running, but you can normally get away with pyramid leads. Probably wouldn't use rolling leads, especially in the daytime, as it can get quite busy up here. And you don't really want to be causing rows with going over everyone's line. And just, yeah, so in a nutshell, keep it simple, 2-hook flappers, pulley rigs, and if you're consistent with coming here, you definitely will find some nice fish. I actually forgot about these when I was mentioning the species you catch down here. They actually give a nice bite as well, on the light tackle especially. Anyway, I did think it was a ray, but nevertheless, now the third species of the night: ray, dogfish, and whiting. So he's getting back. He was quite deep hooked, so I'm hoping he goes back. But I'm trying to get there. But if not, it's just nature of the beast. It does happen, deep hooking fish, but there's not much you can really do about it. So let's get him back and hopefully it goes off. So one thing I forgot to mention earlier in the setup, what I like to use is, in my eyes, is a must for pier fishing, which is a drop net. When you're on a pier at night by yourself, this is absolutely essential to land your fish, because obviously you're not going to be able to pull up big fish completely out of the water, for the fish's safety and also the safety of your rods. You don't want your rods parting, giving way and your tackle losing, your hook slodging just because you ain't got a drop net, and you will lose fish. So yeah, it's an absolute must. This is the True X Pro one, fairly cheap. It's a mid-range one, not expensive. You can pick them up for peanuts. So yeah, it's a necessity, I think, and it makes your life so much easier when you're on here in the daytime. There's bound to be someone with a drop net, but you don't want to be asking people all the time, using their drop net and just constantly relying on people to help land your fish. So I think if you do want to pier fishing, I would definitely look into getting a landing net.